wolf's howl can travel through open wilderness, and every wolf within that range knows exactly who is calling, why they're calling, and whether they should be afraid. But that's not even the strangest thing about them. Stay with us, because in the next few minutes you're going to find out why wolves can predict things humans still can't explain, why a single wolf kill feeds an entire ecosystem you never see, and why the most powerful thing a wolf does, it doesn't do with its teeth. Most people have watched wolves their whole lives and never caught any of this. You think a howl is just a sound. It is not. Bioacoustician Kerstin Frommolt spent years recording wolf vocalizations in the wild. What she found destroyed the idea that wolves just make noise. A single howl carries layered frequency shifts, changes so precise they encode the caller's identity, emotional state, location, and social rank all at once. Think about that. One sound, 4 simultaneous messages. And it gets stranger. Wolves harmonize intentionally. When a pack howls together, individuals shift their pitch to avoid matching a packmate, creating a choir so acoustically complex that to a human ear, it sounds like far more wolves than actually exist. Researchers call it the effect. The pack wants to sound bigger than it is. That howl carrying 30 miles? It isn't random volume. Wolves aim it. They angle their muzzles to use terrain like a megaphone. Valleys, ridgelines, frozen lake surfaces all amplify the signal. They've been doing acoustic engineering for 50,000 years before humans built their first wall. So if wolves are already this sophisticated with sound alone, what are they doing with the rest of their senses? Did you know a wolf's nose contains 300 million scent receptors? Yours has 6 million. That is not a small difference. That is a different category of reality. A wolf walking through a forest isn't seeing a forest. It's one. Every tree is a message board. Every footprint is a timestamp. Wolves can detect prey urine buried under 3 feet of snow, can track a scent trail 24 hours old, and, this part stops scientists cold, they can smell. Not metaphorically, literally. When an animal is terrified, its body dumps adrenaline and cortisol. Those compounds have a chemical signature. Wolves detect it. They know before the chase even begins whether their target is weak, injured, or panicking. Put yourself in the elk's position for a second. You haven't moved. You haven't made a sound. You are standing completely still in the trees, and the wolf already knows you're there. Researcher David Meck, the man who has spent more time studying wild wolves than almost anyone alive, documented packs abandoning hunts before contact because the chemical data told them the prey was healthy enough to be dangerous. They calculated risk through scent alone. The nose isn't a tracking tool, it's a... But here's what that nose, those howls, and every other wolf superpower is actually in service of, and it affects you directly, even if you've never left the city. When wolves were hunted to extinction in Yellowstone National Park by 1926, the scientists didn't panic. Then the rivers started changing. Without wolves, elk grazed freely along riverbanks. They stripped the vegetation to the roots. Without roots, riverbanks collapsed. The rivers literally widening, flattening, warming, losing the depth that fish need to survive. When wolves were reintroduced in 1995, the elk changed their behavior, not their numbers. They stopped grazing in open valleys where wolves could catch them. Vegetation returned. Roots held the banks. Rivers narrowed and deepened and cooled. Songbirds came back. Beavers returned. Beavers built dams. Dams created ponds. Ponds created wetland habitat for otters, muskrats, ducks, and amphibians. Ecologists have a name for this. One predator sitting at the top of a food chain, restructuring an entire landscape, not by killing everything, but by making everything enough to move. The wolf doesn't just hunt in the ecosystem, it does the ecosystem. And now, the fact that changes how you see every single thing we just told you. Here is what took biologists decades to fully accept. Wolves grieve. Not in a simple way. Not in a way you can dismiss. When a pack member dies, the remaining wolves return to the death site repeatedly, sometimes for weeks. They howl differently at that location. Their cortisol levels spike measurably. They move slower. They eat less. Wolf researcher Rolf Peterson studied a pack on Isle Royale in Lake Superior for over 40 years. He watched a wolf he called the old gray female die and documented her mate, a wolf he had tracked for years, stand over her body for hours, then howl alone in that location every single night for the following week. He never partnered again. Wolves mate for life, form lifelong social bonds, teach their young complex skills, mourn their dead, and do all of it without a single word. They've been doing it longer than our species has existed. You came here thinking you knew what a wolf was. A predator, a pack animal, something dangerous in fairy tales. What you found is an acoustic engineer, a chemical analyst, a landscape architect, and a creature that loves and loses and remembers. The wolf has been watching humans spread across every continent, and it has survived us, adapted to us, and kept reshaping the world around us the entire time. Here's your question for the comments. If wolves can change the course of rivers just by existing in a landscape, what do you think disappears from that landscape when you show up? Subscribe, because there are thousands more animals with secrets this strange, and most people will never know.